The galaxy believed Earth was completely gone, erased after the final war with the Dominion fleets. For years, every scan showed nothing but silence, and silence in space always meant death. Planets were either alive with signals or empty forever, and Earth had long been marked as a dead world in all records. No ships returned, no distress calls remained, and even the most advanced sensors stopped searching the system. Yet deep inside an old relay station drifting near the edge of human space, something unexpected happened. A weak energy pattern appeared, almost like a heartbeat trying to restart after stopping for a long time. At first, the Dominion analysts ignored it, thinking it was just cosmic noise or broken equipment reacting to space radiation. But the pattern repeated again and again, each time slightly clearer than before. It was not random at all because it followed structure, as if something was trying to form a language out of pure energy. Slowly, fear started to grow in the monitoring teams, because if Earth was truly dead, then nothing should have been able to speak from it. Still, the signal continued, patient and steady, as if it had been waiting for someone to finally listen. The Dominion Science Council could not ignore the signal anymore, because it was growing stronger every cycle and becoming more structured than any natural phenomenon. At first, they tried to classify it as background radiation, but every new reading showed patterns that repeated with purpose. The most shocking discovery came when they traced its origin point directly back to Sol 3, the Earth system that had been officially declared lifeless centuries ago. High Command ordered immediate verification, and scout fleets were sent to the system with full expectation of finding only ruins and silence. However, when the ships arrived, their sensors detected faint energy activity deep beneath the planet's surface, something hidden under layers of rock and ocean. There were no cities visible from orbit, no surface life, and no movement on the planet. But the signal was still coming from below. Even worse, the signal reacted to the presence of the fleet, changing its pattern as if it was aware of being observed. Communication officers attempted to decode it, but every attempt triggered new variations, like the message was learning in real time. Fear slowly spread across the fleet because it was clear now that something on Earth was not only alive, but also intelligent enough to respond. Deep beneath the broken surface of Earth, far under shattered oceans and collapsed land, humanity was still alive in a way the galaxy never expected. When the surface became deadly after the final war, humans did not disappear, they moved downward. Massive underground cities had been built long before extinction came close, designed as shelters for worst-case survival. At first, these bunkers were temporary, meant for emergencies and short disasters, but centuries passed and the outside world never became safe again. Over time, generations were born underground, never seeing the real sky, only artificial lights and endless tunnels. Slowly, they adapted to the darkness and turned it into a new home. They rebuilt technology from old records, repaired forgotten systems, and improved machines that once belonged to a lost golden age. The signal the Dominion had detected was not a distress call, but an automated system built by humans to check if any life still existed above them. When it finally received a response from space, the underground cities fell into silence because it meant one thing: Earth was no longer alone, and the surface lie about extinction had finally been broken. The interstellar Dominion fleet expected answers when they reached Earth. But what they found instead slowly turned their confidence into fear. Every system in their ships began to behave strangely the longer they stayed in orbit, as if the planet itself was quietly interfering with their machines. Navigation readings drifted without reason, communication links weakened for seconds at a time, and automated defense scans returned results that made no sense. It was not a direct attack, but something far more unsettling, like the planet was observing them back and adjusting itself in response. The commanders tried to maintain control, ordering stricter formations and repeated scans of the surface, but nothing changed the feeling that they were being watched from below. Deep under Earth's crust, human systems were no longer passive. They had awakened fully after detecting foreign presence in orbit. For centuries, they had remained hidden, evolving their underground networks into something far more advanced than simple survival shelters. They had built self-learning defense systems, energy webs that could spread across continents, and monitoring grids that mapped every vibration above them. The Dominion fleet unknowingly triggered all of it at once. Reports began to spread through, the ships about small malfunctions becoming larger patterns. One cruiser lost partial power for exactly 12 seconds, and during that time, every external camera showed identical static shapes forming in the noise, almost like a response. Another ship detected artificial signals bouncing between satellites that should have been dead long ago. Fear started to spread among the crews because they realized nothing on Earth was acting randomly. Everything was coordinated, precise, and improving every time they tried to interfere. The fleet commander finally understood the truth they had refused to accept earlier. Humanity had not only survived, but it had adapted in complete isolation, without any outside influence, becoming something shaped by centuries of underground evolution. And worse, they were not reacting with panic or confusion. They were studying the Dominion with calm and patience, learning every pattern of their technology. The commander looked at the dark planet below, and for the first time in his career felt uncertain of victory, because it was clear that if Earth chose to respond fully, the Dominion would not be fighting a forgotten species, but something that had been waiting far too long to be discovered. The Dominion fleet waited for Earth to respond, but the silence they received felt heavier than any attack. Then, without warning, every communication channel across the entire fleet was taken over by a single unified signal. It was not loud or aggressive, but calm and clear, as if it had been prepared for a long time. The message translated slowly, spreading across every ship at once. "We are still here." The words caused immediate confusion among the crews, because it was not a threat, but a confirmation. Before anyone could react, the space around Earth began to shift with quiet activity. Hidden launch sites, buried deep under the planet's surface, activated after centuries of sleep. From underground cities far below, humanity's last remaining, systems came alive, not as a war fleet, but as scattered probes and silent vessels designed for exploration and defense. They moved without chaos, each one following precise coordinates calculated over generations of isolation. The Dominion realized too late that humanity had not been waiting in fear, but in preparation. Every moment of silence had been used to study the galaxy, to learn from old signals, and to build something far more advanced than anyone expected. As the first human probes slipped past the Dominion fleet without being detected, a cold understanding spread through their command ships. Earth had never truly been defeated or forgotten. It had simply chosen the right moment to return.